Bet horse racing on DRF Bets. We'll match your first deposit of $200. Get free expert picks and past performances, plus weekly cash back. All from Daily Racing Form, the most trusted name in horse racing. Hi everybody, Dan Illman here, taking a look at the feature race at Woodbine on Sunday. It's race number 9, the Grade 3 Ontario Derby. 3-year-olds going 9 furlongs on the Tapeta surface. Let's take a peek at this field. Now, there's only a field of 5 in here, but there's plenty of quality, headed by the horse on the outside, the number 5, Ironstone, who just ran a game second in the Prince of Wales Stakes last time out. The second jewel in the Canadian Triple Crown. That race, of course, on dirt at Fort Erie. He is a proven commodity on a synthetic surface. The question with Ironstone has always been, how far does he want to go? And I guess his effort in the Prince of Wales, going a mile and 3/16, where he gave no quarter in the stretch, shows that he can get the distance. He is a horse that likes to go to the front, and the key handicapping component in this race is going to be the pace. We throw up the Timeform US pace projector, and our friends at Timeform US believe that Ironstone will make the lead. It is worth noting, however, that the number 3, the Minxter, when he faced Ironstone in the Queen's Plate, the first jewel of the Canadian Triple Crown, had more speed than Ironstone, went to the front, and that's been his running style throughout his career. Now, the Minxter's connections are taking blinkers off for the Ontario Derby. Maybe that's a sign that they want to rate this horse a little bit and get him to finish better going a mile and an eighth. If that's the case, Ironstone gets loose on the lead. If not, the Minxter might make Ironstone work hard, and perhaps they have a game of chicken in the first furlong or two that could set things up for a closer. And one of the closers in the race, it's going to be a big price, is the number 1, Bringer of Rain. And Bringer of Rain is taking a big step up in class. He's eligible for a Now-Winners of 2 life race. This is going to be his stakes debut. And in his first start against winners, a first-level allowance against older horses, he ran okay. He passed some horses in the stretch to finish 4th. The pace wasn't that fast in that race. It should be a much better setup for Bringer of Rain in this spot. The question is whether he's good enough, taking a big jump up in class. And I wonder how much upside is left after already 10 starts. Perhaps we've already seen his best. The number 2 is Mannix, and Mannix is a strong contender for Mark Casse and Patrick Husbands, 2-1 on the morning line. This horse won a mile and a 16th race over the synthetic 3 starts back at Woodbine, and he seems like a little bit of a difficult horse to ride. In the race that he won, Emma Jane Wilson got him covered up in between horses because Mannix was pulling and throwing his head around the opening quarter mile. It got him settled once he was covered up. He found a seam in the stretch, and he was able to finish strongly. In his subsequent race, the Grade 3 Marine, he didn't have the most comfortable trip. In his most recent start, the Toronto Cup, going a 1-turn mile, it looked like the trip was going to work out after the first quarter of a mile. He was in a nice pocket position, but he lacked room in the stretch, and he ran just fine. He's a horse that does seem to find trouble. Perhaps it's because he's a difficult horse to ride, but I do think he has talent, and I do think his tactical speed plays well in this race. If the 3 and the 5 go at it, Mannix can sit just off the pace with a kick. The 3 is the Minxter, who did outfoot Ironstone to the lead in the Queen's Plate. He set a very fast pace, and he tired. Same thing in the plate trial. He tired after sitting from off of the pace. So they've tried to go to the lead. They've tried to sit off the pace in his 2 route races this year, and it hasn't worked out. Perhaps it's a sign he doesn't want to go this far. But if you go back to the Minxter's second lifetime start, going a mile and an eighth as a 2-year-old, he handled that distance just fine in the Coronation Futurity, and he sat just a little bit off of the pace. The opening quarter mile is going to be key. How are they going to ride the Minxter? Is he going to go to the front and really battle it out with Ironstone? Is he going to let Ironstone get away and perhaps let that horse have an easy early lead? It could be a tough spot for the Minxter. Either way, if this pace comes apart, you could argue the best closer is the number 4, Luckman, who is in raging form. This horse has won his last 4 races, including the aforementioned Toronto Cup. We're going to watch that race right now. Luckman comes from way out of it to win this race by a neck. Finishing 4th, beaten a half length, is the troubled Mannix, and this is Luckman's running style. This is a horse that was claimed for $25,000 4 starts back. Since then, he has continued his winning ways, and if he gets pace, the distance is not going to be an issue for him. Luckman's going to be running late. Now, he's 5-2 on the morning line. To me, that's a little bit light, stepping up to face these tougher horses, but there's no doubt he's in form. And Ironstone is the number 5. His most recent start, the Prince of Wales at Fort Erie, was an excellent effort. It was over a wet track. He showed the way that day, and they went some pretty quick fractions over that wet going. He made an early lead change on the turn when confronted by the winner, a nice horse, Duke of Love, and he fought that horse all the way down to the line. It was a good effort for a horse that just throws up solid, competitive Beyer speed figures. Synthetic isn't an issue. The 1.125 I still think over a synthetic surface, if there is a quick pace, is a question mark. But Ironstone does appear to be the horse to beat on paper, and that's where I'm going to go, taking a look at my top pick. I'd like to see Ironstone win one. He's been a hardy competitor all year long. 5 starts, 1 second, 3 wins without a victory. I think in this spot, Ironstone can get to the front, maybe back down the fractions just a little bit if the Minster leaves him alone, and sprint on home. Hoping Ironstone can get it done in the Grade 3 Ontario Derby on Sunday. Good luck.